The best advice a writer can get is to write about what you know. And designer and renovator Tammy Holmes took a leaf out of that book in launching her own interior design business 5 years ago. Her new home is her latest project.
My mom was a designer, and I've always been influenced by the job she's been on and helped her a little bit with those jobs. I've always been very interested in interiors. And yeah, it just felt like a natural progression from the business that I had before, which was a creative agency. And I started and it's boomed. My husband and I did a bit of a stock take and realized that our 2 small kids growing up in Joburg was not the most ideal. We are very nature loving, want to sort of hike on the weekends and be surrounded by beautiful places, and that was quite difficult in Joburg. So we then made the decision to come and actually see the estate because we didn't know the lie of the land. First of all, what drew us to this house was this. You don't get houses on the lake very easily. And also the actual bones of the house are really good. We love the flow. We love the fact that everything's open plan. So the actual footprint was perfect. But it was interesting because it'd been on the market with several agents for months and months, and nobody had been able to see beyond the white tiles and the stainless steel and the characterlessness. But being an interior designer and decorator and renovator, it's like my dream to find a space like this. So we walked in and saw huge potential. That was the clincher, as opposed to the other houses that were already done.
Tammy wasn't about to take it lying down when she got 3 sky-high quotes to do the job. So she sourced her own team of local tradesmen and did it herself.
My usual style is super bold, bright, lots of pops of color. But in this space, I've gone for far more neutrals, lots of texture so that it feels calming and peaceful and doesn't fight too much with outside. We painted all the windows and doors black. They were previously a silver aluminium, which was quite dated, and redid all the floors. So a beautiful oak style vinyl flooring, which is great for kids and animals because they run in and out wet. All the fabrics used are low maintenance and high performance, which means that if anybody sits on there with dirty hands or dirty feet, you can get the stains out no problem. I've purposefully made it luxurious, but also very family friendly and very entertainment friendly. I don't want anybody to come into the space and feel like it's too precious a space to relax in. This piece is quite a special piece because my husband and I actually designed it together. So I'd seen some reference pictures online and he claimed that he could do it, which is always a bit of an interesting gamble. And I think you'll agree it's turned out so beautifully. We plotted out exactly what we needed each drawer and door to do and to hold. And the result is really, really lovely. And it just creates 2 little nooks for our girls to read. And we felt like it also grounds the space really nicely.
The entire renovation was done in 5 weeks of making split-second decisions, except for this one.
Adding in this fireplace was a very considered decision. Whilst we love the flow and the open plan feel, we wanted to demarcate the 2 rooms, the dining room and the lounge, and so felt that a double-sided fireplace did that as well as heated both spaces. Repurposing furniture is one of my big musts when you're redoing your home, as long as you've got pieces that are worth repurposing. So in this space, I took a beaded chandelier from my kids' playroom in Johannesburg and sprayed it white. I then used our outdoor table and gave it a light sand, painted the legs, and have now used it as our dining room table. So it's really important to use those pieces that mean something to you in new, innovative ways.
Kitchens are Tammy's second home after running a catering business since her teens.
Kitchen upgrades can often be the super expensive part of renovating a home. So for this particular kitchen, it had really, really good bones. We just needed to add some finesse and character. And so we did that through paneling every single cupboard in the whole kitchen adding new backsplash tiles, and then we installed these beautiful klompies that are not normally used inside, but we decided to kind of change up the flooring in this space, and the result is really beautiful. It's a herringbone pattern and we've whitewashed it, and it was a proper labor of love, but it's a really, really beautiful result.
From fine herringbone detail downstairs, upstairs is the realm of a giant 2.5-meter octopus.
I've always loved this print and needed to find a spot for it somewhere in this home. So originally I was just going to do it as a print in a frame, and then I decided to make it a feature on the landing. It's also a great reference to water, and it just shows that the house isn't taking itself too seriously.
Tammy's commitment to refurbishing extends to having reupholstered her main bedroom's headboard, armchair, and ottoman.
When it came to decorating the master bedroom, it was actually quite a challenge for me because I'm really used to bold colors, lots of patterns, and for this room I really, really wanted it to be very neutral, lots of textures, lots of interest, but through neutrals. So I added this herringbone woven pattern wallpaper, which gives the illusion of almost being like a grass cloth. So it's a nice textural feature. And then everything else in the room is quite calming. So there's pops of color in the scatters and the throws, but everything else is very muted.
The couple's daughters each have their own bedrooms, thanks to the vision of their mom seeing a room where there wasn't one.
This room used to be a pajama lounge, so it was a fully open room on the landing, which the minute that we saw it, we knew we weren't going to use. So what we did was we got drywalling experts in, and they actually built us a bedroom for our smallest daughter. And it's been such a wonderful change because not only have we added another bedroom onto the house, which is really nice as an investment, but it's a proper use for this space that would have otherwise become a dead space. Being an interior designer, decorating and designing my own home is so different to decorating a client's home, because when I've got a client brief and I'm working with a client, they've got their own opinions and their own likes and dislikes and their own requirements for their home. When it comes to doing my own home, the opportunities are endless, so I get a little bit overwhelmed. And also, there's a lot of pressure to create the ultimate home because it becomes your showpiece, and people come in and they know you're a decorator, and so you almost want to throw everything into that one home and space. But obviously, the flip side to that is that I know all the tricks now. I've worked out what does and doesn't work. I've also got to scratch a lot of my design itches on other clients. So I almost get to use all the best bits and pieces from my client jobs and bring them into one culmination in my own home.
For Tammy and Alistair Holmes, moving here was the gift of a free childhood to their girls.
To be honest, I learned on our first time round of developing and decorating a house to give Tam free rein. You know, I might get a question on what do you think of this couch, for example. And the couch might look good, but the way it all pulls together, because there are some pieces that I wonder, I don't know how that's going to fit in, but it does all fit together. So in the end, I know it's going to look something special from Tam.
The best thing about estate living is the fact that the kids can be wild and free. They've got friends that are next door neighbors, and they're constantly meeting new kids all around. And we've also got friends all around. It's such a social environment. People are popping in all the time. And like, for example, on a Friday night, we would take the kids and we go off to a place where we sit and have a few glasses of delicious wine, and they play in the forest there, they play on the swings and the slides. And it's all geared towards family living and cohesive family living.
The dogs love their lake house, and with Tammy having conceived this genius jetty as a finishing touch, she's made it the swan she saw from day one. Get more of the Insider SA online. Follow, connect, engage, and be inspired to live better with the Insider SA. Watch the show Monday evenings at 5:30. Repeat Saturday at 1 on S3.